Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Habits of Influence, episode 3. Me, Magdalena Hanna, and my co-host,
Ian Manheimer.
we are going to be talking about how to direct your focus and how to be more discerning about what information you allow yourself to come into your mind. And specifically, I wanted to talk about a subject that highly irritates me, which is morning routines. Do you like morning routines, Ian?
They're not consistent, no.
Okay, that's been this. You know that my specialty is business productivity, so obviously this is the subject of everyone. What is the perfect morning routine? What do successful people do? What does this billionaire do in the morning that makes him jump out of bed all excited and do those billions every single day? Personally, personally, I think it is all one big fad. This is just another way of getting people busy and putting their focus away from the actual things they should be doing. So I wanted to ask you, you said it's not consistent. What's your morning routine?
Well, lately I haven't been doing much of a morning routine. I've been kind of slacking a little bit. Um, when I was really productive, I there were certain things I like to do every morning. So, for example, reading a book. So maybe getting my mindset in the right area. So maybe I'll read something on what I'm trying to accomplish, or maybe I'll focus on learning something new and spending a little bit of time on that. Another thing that I've done with certain groups is I've done I call it 10-minute success formula, where we focus on a goal for the day and really map out how we're going to accomplish that goal throughout the day. And so we come up with, for example, what is the goal we want to achieve? What steps we need to take to accomplish it? What can possibly get in the way? How we're going to overcome those obstacles and create basically a bulletproof plan for success for the day. And it is very beneficial. But another thing that, when you and I were talking, I'm not a morning person. I'm a night person. I love being up at night. And they have this whole perception of, to be successful, you have to be up at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. You have to do this and start your day like this and
Run
boom,
to
boom,
the
boom, boom.
gym.
Yeah. Yeah. And for me, I mean, I'm not gonna say it doesn't work, because I'm a firm believer in mindset and that we can overcome and create whatever habits we want. We can create anything. I can change my circadian rhythm to match whatever I needed to do. However, I personally prefer nighttime. I am more productive at night. When the world is asleep, I can focus, I can get more done. My phone's not going off a million times a day. I'm not getting Facebook messages or emails because everyone's sleeping, except for you, because you're on the other side of the world. So I get to talk to you when everyone else on my side of the world is asleep.
Yeah, I mean, but you did say, I did catch you saying like when I was more productive, I used to do a morning routine, and I think that's the association that people actually have. It is so deeply ingrained with us right now, due to a lot of people presenting it as a way to actually get yourself in the right state. And don't get me wrong, I think that generally having some sort of routine, whether it's a morning routine or an evening routine, it's good, essentially good. Like you said, it's something that kind of puts you in the right mind frame. It gets you excited for the day, but it is different for everybody else. And like you said, you're not a morning person. Well, I am not a morning person as well. I'm not a night person too. I prefer the afternoon. This is where I do majority of my work, and this is mainly because my child is at school. So this is a time where I can put all of my focus and really focus on what I'm doing mindfully. Uh, but that being said, I don't think there is a morning routine that is the essential, ultimate one that works for you, unless it is the one that works for you. So my morning routine is having my coffee and talking to my mom. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. It actually gets me going. I love knowing that my mom, my dad, they're okay and having a nice day. They love speaking to me. We just get pumped up and we go and do our stuff. Not to
And
swear because we're not allowed to swear. So
I'm glad you brought that up, because that, I think, is such a key element of success, is finding out what works for us as an individual. Because what works for you may not work for me,
yeah,
and what works for me may not work for you, and what works for you or I may not work for somebody else. So
absolutely.
truly developing what does work. Now, that being said, I think there is importance on creating some sort of habits around what we want to do, about around productivity, around sales, around whatever it is in our life. It can be about relationships, but creating something that we can focus on. And that's where, for me, reading comes in handy, journaling, meditation, any of those things. Now, does that have to be every morning? No, it can be anytime, but
Yeah.
making sure we dedicate a certain part of our day to doing things that are going to help us. And you and I had talked briefly about TV, and it's funny because I don't really watch TV, and you said you don't watch TV.
I don't want to
and
do that.
and what I've done, and I can honestly say, in the last year, I've, with my whole cancer journey and everything, I've gotten away from a lot of stuff that I was doing consistently every single day. I've given myself a big break this year. So, coming back to some of the stuff that is important, but making my decisions based on how it's going to help move me forward in one way or another. So, for example, we talked about the people who say you have to do this and and all these things. Well, I'm a firm believer in balance. So maybe for me, what I need to be more productive is I might need to take a hike in the woods, and
Yeah.
I'm going to take a day off, get away from everything, and go take my hike and come back rejuvenated, come back re-energized, and do what I need to do to get myself recentered.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say, I'm digressing a little bit, is when I go to make a decision, and like, again, I don't drink or I don't do any drugs. That's another thing, is making decisions based on, is what this decision going to help me achieve my goals and get me where I want to be, or is it going to pull me away? So for me, like when I think about TV, okay, I can spend an hour watching TV, which my ADD kicks in. That hour turns into 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. Next thing I know, I'm binge watching something for 26 days. And just creating something where is this habit, or is this whatever it is, activity,
Is it taking
helping
me
me
closer to where I want to be? I would just step away a little bit further and just not necessarily going to immediately give you the result that you're seeking, but it is going to, in fact, move you closer to where you want to be.
perfect? Exactly. Thank you.
You're welcome. So should I just take it that you are not a fan of of routines that used to be a form of torture back in the day, and now everybody wants to do them, like taking cold baths in ice?
I can't say I'm a fan. I can't say I'm not. I think for certain people they're essential, and for other people they're detrimental.
Come on, it's just, it doesn't do anything. It's just something. It's like, drinking a tea and thinking that your whole body balance is going to change. It takes a little bit more than a cup of tea or bathing in ice than to get yourself, in the right mind frame to
Oh,
to do business or to live your life or to,
oh,
be
absolutely.
energized and focused.
Maybe I misunderstood. I thought you were saying like just generally creating habits. I thought you meant, like, I didn't realize you were saying like just
No,
doing
I
something as
mean
multiple.
just the strange ideas that people get. It's like, yes, this is it. I need to wake up at 5 in the morning, take a cold icy bath, and drink chamomile tea, and then I'm going to, look at my day, and I'm going to feel so excited about what I'm supposed to do.
And I guess there are people that works for, but not everybody. I don't think there's a cookie cutter method that works for everybody.
Yeah,
There's
yeah. I'm joking. So, low key is like, I have my opinion on that, but at the same time, I think there will be things that will work for you. There will be things that will not work for you. A routine doesn't need to be a set of, like, a list of things that you need to do every single day. A routine can change. Even though you're having a routine, as long as you're doing something for the mind, for the body, and for the soul, that actually gets you going. And it can be a different thing every day. That's the thing, that you don't have to do the same stuff every single day. As long as it gets you into the mind frame of getting closer to those goals, of achieving something that day, however small that may be. That's a good morning routine.
Yeah, and I think what it comes down to really is, it may not be like you said, the exact same thing, but creating habits that are successful and healthy
Just doing
habits.
something, yes, absolutely, doing something, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I have to now meditate every single day. In fact, I used to do it for years, and I got tired of it. I got bored of it. I'm the kind of person who can't sit in one place. I used to meditate for, I think, 4 years every single day. I haven't missed a day. Did that improve my life? At that point, probably yes, but continuing, will it continue improving my life? I don't think so. I think there comes a time where you just need to switch, you need to spice it up and you need to do something else, right? We change, we go further, we evolve, we grow, and different stages have different needs. So those will always require readjustments.
Yeah. And I'm a firm believer in meditation. Absolutely. I think it's very powerful. I also am a firm believer in listening to our body and what's going on in our lives. There are times where and there'll be many people that will disagree with this statement, um, where our lives are so hectic, we just don't have the capacity to add that in. Or like you said, our minds are jumping all over the place. And I guarantee there's going to be people who will challenge us on that theory of, well, that's when you should meditate, is when you're so in chaos or you're so busy to balance yourself. And I do agree with that as well. But sometimes you just don't have the capacity to do it. Sometimes, we're just running so much on fumes that all I want to do is just hit the bed at night or just get going in the morning because there's so much on the to-do list. And that's not always helpful or healthy, but it's allowing ourselves the grace to not be so regimented if we don't accomplish one of those things on our list, that we're not beating ourselves up as well.
Yeah, I mean, don't get hung up on one thing, right? So you're saying meditation, and it might sound a little bit OCD. I am OCD, a slight bit. I do like to micromanage. So if I get, different emotions require different things from me. So why I don't believe in having a strict set routine is because every day I might wake up with a different need. And like you say, I might have more to do, less to do. There are certain things that I need to address, whether it's business life, relationships, whatever it is that I need to do that day. But let's say, when I get irritated, the best thing for me is not meditation, but cleaning up my house. It kind of, serves as a form of a cathartic experience, if you wish. It's like, and it cleanses me much better than just sitting there and trying to fight my thoughts away. Whereas, sometimes meditation comes easy and you just sit down and you just go to that different space. It's not always going to work, and it's not always going to be the best fit for you at that particular time.
So going off that, I know we had talked a little bit earlier about what is it that we allow to influence us. So why don't you talk a little about that? What is it that you allow to influence you, and how do you make your decisions on what influences you?
Well, again, I allow myself to be flexible. But in terms of what influences me, I I believe that as long as it grows me and as long as it provides me the positive outlook on life, and now again, we like every single thing, it might go a good way and it might go a bad way, right? Because there's a lot of beautiful thought processes or movements that are essentially very good but have gone very astray. um, I'm not going to, yeah, like for example, I have this thing about law of attraction is that I used to be religiously doing all the things that are connected. I know, and we might have an actual argument here, but I believe in science, I believe in facts, I believe in tangible results. And as much as I believe there is something beyond us, as much as I believe that we have access to it, I don't believe, that sitting and just wishing and desiring, however well you do it, is going to provide you any sort of results. But regardless of that, I allow things that are in congruence with who I am. I came to the stage of now being 37 years of age. I know exactly what I want. I know exactly where I'm going. And the things that I'm choosing are carefully and mindfully taken from the outside world to complement what I believe is the right way, right? Or is something that is going to enrich me, but it's still going to be incongruous with my own values and with my own goals. So I don't allow myself to get into the noise of anymore. Should I say anymore? I don't allow myself anymore to get into that noise of, taking every challenge, listening to every coach, or just, taking everything as is, whatever people say to me. I try and just always ask myself that question inside, does that grow me? And is this something that I believe in? Is this something that I agree with? Even if I don't entirely agree with, I'm trying to ask myself, can I believe it? Can that be true? Can that enrich me? but I'm just not allowing myself to just take the information blindly, and wasting my time on things that are irrelevant for my that place in time, or my journey, or my growth, or my goal.
And you brought up law of attraction, and that's something that you know I'm not like a law of attraction guru or anything, but I am a firm believer in mindset and visualization. And the flip side of that, though, is yeah, we can't just wish something and expect it to happen. We can read all the books in the world, but without applying what we learn, it doesn't mean anything. We can learn it, but without the application, it's not going anywhere. So law of attraction is very similar. It's not just about wishing or thinking. It's about actually seeing ourselves. It's about moving ourselves in that direction. It's about feeling it in certain ways. And that's a much deeper topic, which we can talk about another time.
Yeah.
Because this is more going to be about the influence. But, you know, pairing that law of attraction with action is, I think, what makes the success.
Well, it is
It's
law of attraction.
so, it's, and with that piece that you mentioned, there is a behavioral component. And I think that's where so many people get hung up is it's not so much the law works or doesn't work. It's we have this vision or this wish list or what we want to accomplish, but our actions and our emotions don't align with what we're working towards. So we may, oh, I close our eyes and I want to be a millionaire. I want to be a millionaire. And then our mental, what we're saying to ourselves is, oh, I can't afford this. I'm not in a position to do that. Or so our actions and our behavior and the way we're thinking is not congruent with the lifestyle we're trying to attract. So we're not going to move anywhere because we're not creating that for ourselves.
Mm.
Whether it comes to a coaching course or personal development, or, oh, I don't really want to read this book on how to get what I want, but I really want $1 million, but I don't want to read a book on how to be successful. So our actions aren't congruent with what we're putting out there into the universe. And when we're not congruent, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I think what you're talking about, that mindset component is very valuable. The be do have principle, but it does require a journey. It does require exploring yourself, and you can't just. I don't think the law of attraction irritates me as it is as a concept, because it's a beautiful concept and it has a lot of very important mindset sides to it that we should be able, or should explore. But the sheer belief that you can just go in there and visualize yourself to full success, freedom, and love of your life, it's just not true. And I can't look at it in a way that like I said, essentially good movement sometimes leads to very distorted and very bad results, right? Because if you believe something too much and you're not taking it in its entirety, which majority of people do, like when they sit there visualizing and expecting things to come to them, but not really wanting to do stuff, that's where it fails. But yeah, I mean, everything is going to require a holistic approach, right? You need to work on your mindset. You need to actually get up from your backside and do stuff. But you also have to have the conviction that you are able to do that. And I think that's where it all comes down to, doesn't it? It's the conviction.
Yeah. And the belief in yourself to achieve and accomplish what it is you set out or that you desire, and then having a reason for that desire. It really, there's such a deep topic. We can talk about this for weeks on end. So you brought up something, and allowing outside influences, whether it's what we hear from other places, and I think that's really powerful. And when we focus on what is it that we are currently and consistently paying attention to.
Yeah.
So whether it's, you talked about, you talk to your mom every morning, and that's great. I mean, I love my mom to death. My mom is my rock. I was raised by a single mother. I didn't have a dad growing up. She was my rock, and she is amazing. And, I talk to her as much as I possibly can. And I value that. And I think she's a big part of who's made me what I am. She has instilled some amazing core values. But when we're talking about influence and we're talking about what we allow into our lives, and the message that we're receiving, whether it's from what we're watching on TV, with the people we're talking around, the people you're hanging around, they say you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So who are we surrounding ourselves with? And what messages are they giving us? Are they showing up and complaining about the world and saying how miserable the world is and how, this and that, and whatever the topic is? Are they complaining, or are they saying, how can I make a difference? Are they coming to life with, things that light you up and inspire you, or drain your energy?
Yeah.
And being very selective of who we're surrounding ourselves with and what messages we're allowing. We're always going to come across people who are negative. We're always going to come across people who are positive. We're going to come across people who are successful. And we're going to come across people who are not successful. And we have to make a very cognitive and very direct decision on what we allow to filter into our minds and stay up here. Some things go through our ears, go in one, go out the other. Sorry, I'm banging things over here. I'm a little destructive, but some will go in one ear, out the other, and then some we say, okay, this resonates, I'm going to keep it. I want to save this for later, so we file it away. And there are some things like, I need this now. So just being very intentional on what we allow to filter through our mind and what we allow to stay is very going to be key, I think.
So just making a full circle, coming back to those morning routines, choose the things that enrich you, that grow you, that are that positive influence. Do not focus on specific things. Focus on, you already know what kind of lights you up. You already know what is good for you and what is not. Even my 7-year-old son knows what is good essentially and what is bad. Maybe not to a degree that an adult can, but we all deep down inside, we know what is that right thing for us. Who are those right people that we should listen to? Just be choosy in the way you live your life. Like I said, you use the word intentional, and it is in regards everything. It is in regards your daily life, but it is also in regards to those morning routines. I get a lot of people asking me that. So just do something that will put you in a state of that positivity, right? Again, tying into that law of attraction thing and everything, and the conviction. This is the thing that is going to motivate you. This is the thing that is going to light you up. This is the thing that is going to make you do stuff, whether personally or business wise. And not some specific stuff that anybody else tells you is the right or wrong thing. So the influences, the listening to the things that come from all sorts of gurus, coaches, or mentors, or television, or wherever it's from. Just choose the ones that resonate with you the most and make you grow and make you move forward on your journey.
And what I would say is, my challenge for people this week would be, pay attention to your thinking. Take this week and really sit and listen to your thoughts that you're having in your head, and maybe even take a piece of paper and do a T-chart, one side positive or, inspirational thoughts, one negative or limiting thoughts, and see where you're falling on that chart. Are the thoughts you're having in your head, are they success thoughts? Are they, motivational? Are they inspiring you? Are they pushing you forward? Are they holding you back? Are you saying, I can't do this? This isn't, I'm never going to be successful. Are you going to be, what's motivating you? Really paying attention to those thoughts that are going in and out of your mind, and really focusing on, how am I thinking, and how is this thinking helping me? If it's not helping me, how can I change it?
Or
And
what
if
I
it is
should
helping
do,
me,
or what I should do, add or get rid of in order to have that more positive outlook. Because again, that's what it is. That's what morning routines, evening routines are. They're supposed to give you the positive outlook. They're supposed to give you the energy, the stamina, the excitement, right? But if you're going to be negative all the time, you're going to listen to negative stuff, negative thoughts, negative people, and just forcing yourself to do things that are completely not in congruence with you. The result of it is going to be you being overwhelmed, frustrated, and just not in the place that could essentially get you to your goals quicker.
yeah, doing things because we have to do them never feels good. Doing things because we choose to, or because they ignite us, that's another thing. And if you're talking about, like you said, morning routine or habits, those habits should be moving us in a direction that feels good and aligns. And we always feel it in our heart, right? We always know what makes us feel good. And if it doesn't feel good, you can have the healthiest habit in the world, but if it's not moving you forward, it's not helping you feel good, it's really not that positive. It's not that helpful. Now, that being said, there are going to be times where we have to go through a little bit of a backward spiral to get forward, right? There's going to be times where we have to have a little bit of pain in order to grow. Pain is a catalyst for growth, for sure. So I'm not saying try something once, and if it doesn't work, you don't do it again, but really find those things that, like you said, align and make you feel differently.
I mean, it's gonna take some time, right? It's gonna take some time to find those right things. You have to go through a lot of, bad things, bad routines, bad habits to just realize that, like, okay, this is, just to achieve that discernment, like sifting and sorting, like this is not good for me. This is actually working. Oh, this is fantastic. This is fabulous. I'm going to take that. But just don't feel pressured that you need to have a whole set of, steps that you need to go through. Just be a little bit more mindful and play around with it. I would say just like take the pressure off.
Yeah. And I'll just agree with you on that.
I knew that this topic is going to be it's going to divide us, because obviously we come from two different approaches. It's like you're more about the positivity, I'm more about the tangible result and the and what can we do to change this for the better. I mean, it all ties in together. But at the end of the day, I don't expect everybody to agree with me. I'm sure you'd have the same. There's going to be people that love that. There's going to be people who still wish to bathe in ice, sipping chamomile teas, and they're going to be perfectly happy with that. So, whatever works, I would say.
Well, any habit, like you said, is going to take time to develop, and that's just the way it is. They take time, and we learn, and there is no right or wrong. It's everyone is individual, and and I don't think this divides us at all. I think we're both emotionally intelligent people, and we may not see eye to eye, but that doesn't mean it's going to divide us. I can respect you and your opinion. You can respect me and my opinion. And that's one of the things that's beautiful about our relationship is we balance each other in interesting ways. Yeah. And those habits, they are key, and what moves us forward. And I think what you said is the most important is, it's what works for us. It doesn't have to work for everyone. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to do what everyone else does.
Providing that you're not destroying yourself, like I said, that it grows you, right?
Well, and something to think about is we didn't get where we are right now in one day. So we're not going to get out of where we are right now in one day. We've spent our whole lives getting to where we are right now. Positive, negative, everything that's happened to us, everything that we've created, everything we failed, all of our mistakes, all of our successes have led up to where we are right now. So if we want to change, it's not going to happen right now. It's going to take some time. And I think so many people go into this of, I'm going to start this morning routine. My life's going to be different. It takes time. Yeah. I'm going to start this business. My life will be different. I'm going to do this. My life will be different. No, nothing instantaneously changes your life.
Yeah. It needs to be consistent.
It's creating habits. Creating habits is discipline. It is effort. It is stumbling. It's falling. It is climbing. It is reaching new heights. There's so much to creating habits, and consistency is one of those things, is not giving up and continuing to push forward. And I think that's really what to focus on, not giving up and not expecting an immediate change with this.
And I think that beautifully sums it up. I think, there's nothing more to say. It's like, just choose something and stick with it for long enough to see if it's good or bad for you. But yeah, I would wrap it up here. What do you think?
Sounds good.
All right, guys. If you like this episode, of course, give it a like, a thumbs up on YouTube. And of course, as always, I'm going to highly encourage you, if this is something that you're finding helpful and you want to carry on that journey with us, supporting you, holding your hand, subscribe to our podcast, Habits of Influence, on all major platforms, as well as, if you want to interact with us and see our faces, subscribe to us on YouTube, Habits of Influence. And tap that notification bell so that you always get notifications of where we're going live. We are going to be with you every single week, helping you out, holding your hands, and perhaps busting the myths as it turns out.
Is there a way that people, those who are listening, if they have questions or if they have, is there a way that they can send us something that they could say, hey, can you talk about this topic?
Absolutely. That's why, best way to actually interact with us is on YouTube. So, yeah, share your thoughts about the morning routines. Put them in the comments, and it will be really awesome to read them and kind of interact with you, answer you. Let's start a conversation about that because I believe, like we had here, it's a subject that might divide people, right? Everybody looks at it differently, and I'll be happy. I'm sure you too as well, Ian, to know what you guys think. What is it for you?
Absolutely.
Does it help you? Does it actually influence anything in your life or business? If yes, share your morning routines with us. Maybe somebody will get inspired. Maybe we'll get inspired, and maybe we can change our minds. All right. So yeah, thank you for being with us. This is Habits of Influence, Magdalena Hanna and Ian Manheimer. We're going to be with you next week. Thank you and bye bye.